So, the voice actor for Lyrin in RWBY, Neath has come out, and boy oh boy, is he salty, because he has now threatened to mass block fans that don't agree with him or give critique that he doesn't like. Yeah, not a wise decision, Neath. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So Neath is really salty, and the reason why is because he's salty with anybody that says anything that he doesn't like when it comes to RWBY. You know, he seems really butthurt about things like that. And he's had a entire, like, 2 whole threads. I'm not even kidding. 2 on how he's butthurt. I'm not even kidding. We're going to look at those. So this is where he started with this thread. Did it occur to you that I often block people for reasons not related to RWBY, even if someone has valid criticism of RWBY, if that person also openly supports someone spreading false information or being phobic, or supports someone who openly admitted to assault, etc., I block that person too. For example, I never interacted with Hirohei, but after watching a few of his videos and checking sources, I confirmed that he deliberately lied and spread false information about Rooster Teeth, Funimation, and Crunchyroll. Therefore, I blocked Hirohei and those who openly supported him and spread the false information he put in his videos. The people in these screenshots may have had valid criticisms of RWBY. See, okay, here's the thing. Whether you like Hirohei or dislike him, that's up to you. But thing is that when it comes to disliking people in general, you don't have to block them. Considering that Hirohei apparently never interacted with the guy, there was no reason to do it, so he mass chain blocked. This means that he blocked his own fans. I want you to keep that in mind. He didn't seem to care. Anybody that was a fan of his that had been following Hirohei as well, they're all blocked now. You know, what does this remind me of? Some of you may know what I'm talking about here. It reminds me of the comic book industry. Because what happened with the comic book industry? Obviously, it went woke, it's going broke, collapsing right now because of their poor decisions. And what did they do, though? People like Ethan Van Sciver, Richard C. Meyer, John Malin, they went around and blocked these people and anyone that was fans of them and blocked them as well. And what did that do for the comic book industry? All right, that made it worse. So I can guarantee you this is going to make it that much worse. It's not going to make it better. And also, trying to state that he has information that Hirohei deliberately lied and spread false information about Rooster Teeth, Funimation, and Crunchyroll, he needs to think twice about that. Because Hirohei isn't the only one that's talked about some of this information. Clownfish TV, Yellow Flash, that Umbrella guy, multiple other people, myself included, we talked about the issues with Rooster Teeth, Funimation, and Crunchyroll. And none of it's misinformation. The guy is basically lying to try to make himself look like he's in the right. That's exactly what's going on here. Now, if you know how Puritans work, one big thing about them is that they self-project themselves onto other people. So Neath is actually the liar, and he's trying to self-project that. However valid criticisms of RWBY or not, after reviewing their Twitter feeds, I blocked them for other reasons, which includes some of the above, so get your facts straight before you state I block anyone who criticizes RWBY in a way that doesn't fit my standards. But that's what you did. I mean, who are you trying to fool, Neath? You blocked them because they didn't fit your standards. That's exactly why you blocked them. Some time to reply, but not that much. That said, thanks for all the responses. While there are a few responses that are just intended to be denigrating, a great many more are supportive or at least civil when in disagreement or questioning. Very much appreciated. Those who civilly ask for info examples for a certain person did you know who? Sure, can't tonight. But next chance I will gather and sort and provide them. Truth be told, I've come to think providing this might be a good thing and reveal how damaging that person is to not just the RWBY community, but the wider anime community as a whole. Those responding with a free speech quick law lesson for you. Free speech protects people from regulation by the government. Me blocking you doesn't censor you or stop you from speaking. Yeah, see, okay, here's something I want to bring up as well, is this. One person responded to Neath, and this was actually quite hilarious. So, Memory stated this. He has to gather it, meaning he has to search for lies. He blatantly said Hirohei deliberately lied about Rooster Teeth, Crunchyroll, etc. No matter what he says now won't matter because he got caught. So, 2 things I learned about Neath this week. He spreads lies, and he isn't professional. And that's true. I mean, Neath, what he's doing here, he's trying to lie to ruin somebody else and gain clout. That's exactly what he's doing, and this is what Puritans do. They try to gain enough clout by trying to ruin the reputation of someone else. That's exactly what Neath is doing here. And that's not right. And he's also just blocking fans because he doesn't agree with them. I mean, seriously, you couldn't be more petty, Neath. Not even kidding. You really couldn't. And his thread isn't even over with. It continues. What you want, but I am not obligated to listen, and am thus free to block. Those who ask me to block, thank you for your replies, and no problem. Next chance I will sort through my responses and get to it. Or, you can just block me. Those who replied with, Victoral, sorry, but I don't reply to Victoral. I just block. Will do the next chance I get. You can try to hide behind the term fan or fandom all you like. It doesn't obligate me to reply to you, especially when the response is nothing but spitefulness. In the meantime, you can just block me instead. No problem with that either. Those who want me to reply to prove myself a man. Individually reply to people I don't know on the internet has nothing to do with manliness. I don't know where you got the idea from. I have nothing to prove to you. But wait, you were talking about how you had the evidence to prove that somebody was a liar. And yet here you are saying now that you don't have anything to prove. You're contradicting yourself, which, all the Puritans do that. They all contradict themselves whenever they're trying to do stuff like this. This always happens. They always do this. We'll probably be able to get the info and sort it next week. This week looks like it's going to be a bit busy. Work, doctor appointments, etc. More like you don't have the evidence and you never will, so you're just trying to push it aside so that you'll never have to get to trying to prove evidence because you don't have it. Because it's not there. That's exactly why. Side note, the specific person I mentioned was one example. I have various other reasons for blocking, which I said from the start. Well, Neath, I questioned something then. How low are you willing to go to block people? That's something I've really kind of questioned. Oh, right. That's how low you're willing to go. Neath Ohm has Trump derangement syndrome. Oh, wow. Who's really shocked about that? If someone supports another who is being phobic, etc., more often though I block for what someone is doing or saying himself or herself. I also did not refer to people who just watch his videos or follow him. See the specific language in my reply. Let me ask you something, Neath. Who said anything about, being homophobic? Who? Would you like to prove that one? Because I don't see where anyone said that they were homophobic. I would like to see the proof of that one, Neath, because, you're not proving anything. You just keep rambling. That's all he did was ramble. To those who decided to respond with RWBY went to shit, or something similar, no time to mass block you tonight, but before I get the chance to log in again and do so, something for you to consider. Actual criticism contains reasoning and analysis. Well, you know what? I'll agree with you on one thing. Criticism does contain reasoning and analysis. I'll give you that. But when it comes to RWBY has gone to shit. There is no arguing that, because if you watch the first 3 volumes and then everything from there afterward, yes, it has gone to shit. I'll bring up points in a moment on that. It proves someone's work saying RWBY is went to shit doesn't contain any analysis or reasoning. It doesn't improve RWBY, so it isn't criticism. It's just you, for one reason or another, being arrogant and putting down the work of others. If you want to criticize something in the future, try to actually analyze RWBY and think of something rational and well-reasoned. Saying RWBY went to shit doesn't help. Well, don't you worry, Neath. I'll give you a quick rundown of why RWBY went to shit. Let me help you out with that. So first off, the main characters. What is their goals anymore? Oh, right, they don't exist, because the characters are a hollow husk of shells of what they formerly used to be. Because the characters used to have personality. They used to have goals. They used to be fun and interesting. Now they're all nothing more than a hive mind of one being, basically. Even though there's 4 of them on Team RWBY, they all think the same now. They don't have individual character traits that sticks them out from one another. Adam used to be a revolutionist and a terrorist. That's all gone now. In fact, Adam, which they destroyed the potential of his character, what did they change him to? Oh, being a creepy stalker ex-boyfriend. Right. Yeah, they ruined his character, and they didn't even give him a backstory. So they ruined him entirely. And then also, we can't forget, The plot of Volume 7, what was it? It was all politics. It was literally Orange Man bad, them supporting fake news, and Antifa. I'm serious. Tell me how that makes for a good plot, because it doesn't. People don't want propaganda and their entertainment, and that's what RWBY has become. That's why RWBY is trash. I don't need more of a reason, because that's enough to tell you why it's gone to shit. So, there's the reasons, Neath. Oh, and let me give you some evidence. So, next, Funimation. Since you stated that there's no evidence of Funimation doing all these things that were bad, well, what about Funimation going around and censoring things? Like, for example, how Funimation censored Nico Para's butt pun joke. Or how Funimation went around and to censor the humor in Bofuri and then made a terrible joke out of it instead. How about that one, Neath? Or, no, let's make it better. Or how they completely changed the dub line to insert politics to reference misogyny. And a girl who chants love at the bound of this world. What about all that, Neath? I'm pretty sure that's evidence enough, and you can even see it within their own dub. Oh, we can't forget where Funimation also dropped interspecies reviewers after 3 episodes because to them it didn't fit their standards, which was hypocritical because they have other much, much, much more perverted series than that. So, Neath, the evidence is there, but it seems to me like you just want to push it out and act like it doesn't exist. But we're not even done with Funimation. Let's talk about their voice actors for a minute. It's about to get better. Like Veronica Rial, about how she is one to actually attack the fans. She's done it multiple times. And, that's to no surprise. Tried to ruin an innocent man's career. We can't forget that. Oh, also, she went after a YouTuber after his information was doxxed due to Shannon McCormick, by the way, who is someone you also work with, and Rooster Teeth, mind you, and tried to make sure to get Tug fired. That's screwed up. Like I said, the evidence is there. But let's not also forget about another one. Jamie the Heifer Markey. Oh, what did she try to do? Oh, that's right. She literally, made terrible remarks towards fans upon multiple occasions. Like, for example, whenever she would always call fans incels. We can't forget that. Or how she went after Vic Mignogna and just said some of the worst, most vile things about that man, trying to ruin his career. She's a horrible person. We can't forget Alex Moore, whenever she was attacking people for pirating anime. Whenever some people, that's the only way they get it. I'm just saying. And she herself was pushing her colonial values as well as Funimation in general. Funimation tries to push their politics into anime. They're trying to do that crap. They're trying to censor it. So, Neath, you want to talk about bad statements. You want to talk about, Funimation, and you want to say that they never did any of these terrible things. Well, let's think twice because the evidence is there. And, right here is some of the evidence. I mean, there's a lot more, but I thought I'd just show some of it to get the point across that Neath Ohm, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea, and you're pushing out the actual facts that are out there. But let's also talk about Crunchyroll. Fact is, Crunchyroll has almost been sold off, by AT&T themselves. And that's no surprise. We can't forget about the controversy with High Guardian Spice. There was also that as well. And Neath, there's a lot out there. It's real. But let's also talk about the big one, the coup de grace, which is the company that you work for, which is Rooster Teeth. Let's not forget Rooster Teeth and all of the things that they've done. Oh, right. Well, what was that? Oh, they actually decided to cancel themselves because that's how stupid they are. The company you work for is woke, and now they're going broke. And yet, you want to say that everything about them is a lie when the evidence is there. They've even proven how stupid they are by deciding, oh, well, we're just going to cancel ourselves, censoring our own content, and deciding to remove certain things because it's offensive. This company, they're a bunch of clowns, and yet, Neath, you want to defend these clowns? Let's not forget about them losing 13% of their staff and laying off 54 people total last year. Let's talk about that one. Why was that? Oh, that's right, because their company has been losing money. Oh, that's one thing. Another one is where Matt Hullum lied to people to state that he was stepping down from CEO when he actually was demoted because of his terrible management. Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. And then had to replace him with Jordan Levin. So nobody that actually founded Rooster Teeth is actually in charge anymore. There's that one. Oh, let's also go with this one, Neath, about how the animators, which, by the way, not only have they been abused, but are still going through harsh abuse and terrible working conditions, as well as the horrible crunch time that Rooster Teeth still has not even fixed. Let's also talk about that for a minute, about how that continues to go on, and yet they lie to the fans all the time and state that, oh, we fixed it, everything's fine, and yet people are leaving the company as quickly as they possibly can. What about that, Neath? Or, oh, here's the big one where Rooster Teeth, they talk about how they stand for women, right? But yet the vice president, he was actually harming his wife, and they didn't fire him until it came out to the public. Why did they not fire him? Because he was paying their paychecks. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because he was on their side. They didn't fire him. They didn't even make a statement on that at all. Didn't say a word. Not even to this very day, Neath. There's evidence out there. So there's another thing. Oh, and we cannot forget about Mika Burton and why she left the company. And she stated it was because of very terrible remarks that were being made and how she was treated there. And then, of course, what happened after that? Oh, the employees started coming out of the woodworks on social media apologizing. Now, why would they do that if that wasn't true then? Doesn't that make you wonder? But also, we cannot forget about your employees that you work with, like Miles Luna, and the hypocrisy and the bigotry that's come from this man. For example, like what he said about Tifa, how she's a lady of the night, when he himself also approves of female designs, like Yang's design, who is based off of Tifa, or how he also approved of Neon Cat and her design, and they show off some skin. Hypocrisy from that guy. And then also, let's not forget the statements that Miles Luna has also made, Neath. What has he said? Oh, some very, very, very terrible things. Very bigoted things. The evidence is all there. It's all there. And he hasn't learned from it because he still does it. We can't forget whenever he also said a very, very bad word. And then, all right, what else did he also do? He blamed white people for his bad writing. We can't forget that. And that was back in February of this year. So, the evidence is all there. But let's talk about something else that he also did. Miles is also someone who supported defunding the police in Austin. He went and helped with his local government to do that. Keep that in mind of how disgusting Miles Luna is. The evidence is all there. It's all there. And the good news out of this, though, is that the Texas AG says state may take over Austin Police Department to prevent the defunding. So at least they're trying to prevent this from happening. That makes little to no sense. It makes our city less safe, Paxton said on Fox and Friends Weekend, adding, we can fund the police in a way that will keep the city safe, which is what we all want. The Attorney General said that the state could pass legislation that would allow it to fund police, effectively taking the department over. Goes on to state, we can't let Austin's defunding and disrespect for law enforcement to endanger the public and invite chaos like in Portland and Seattle. Abbott tweeted Thursday about the proposal. The governor previously threatened to defund cities that defund police departments. But just remember to keep in mind, Miles Luna, what did he do? He got involved with his local government to defund the police in Austin, Texas. That's how terrible of a person Miles Luna is. And to think, Neath's trying to state that there's no evidence of Funimation, Crunchyroll, Rooster Teeth, or any bad things with them. Well, there's a lot out there. And I thought I would just go ahead and, prove some of the facts right now. That there were some bad things that's been going on that continue to still go on. But if anything, what this tells you about Neath is that he doesn't take things professionally. He lies, and that he acts like a child. And that Neath, by trying to block his fans, has made a terribly dire mistake. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you were new here, and make sure you were still subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.